Hello, my name's Tracy, and welcome to what I think is going to be our new vlog. I've been meaning to do this for ages, and here we are, beginning. So, this is about our experience of moving to France. And gaining residency in France. It is the 15th of September 2020, so Brexit is a few months away, and we find ourselves in a pandemic. So this hasn't been the most straightforward of adventures so far. But we are ploughing on nonetheless. In fact, tomorrow we are due to go to France to hand over on an apartment that we have a long-term rent for whilst we sort out all the other logistics and things. But having joined a number of Facebook groups, I'm aware that loads of people are planning on gaining residency in France, both because of Brexit but also internationally, a bit beyond the UK. And we're also really into following people's adventures on YouTube, and we couldn't find any really about people gaining residency in France. So I thought it might be interesting to share our experiences and then get them on YouTube or whatever other sharing place we might find. Because it might be interesting to other people. People might have questions that we may be able to answer having gone through it, as well as maybe it being quite a nice way of documenting it for us. It's going to be really low tech. Probably not going to be edited. There's not going to be beautiful music in the background and all of the wonderful things that I know lots of people do when they make these films. But hopefully it'd be interesting for people who will be interested in it. I'm going to keep them about 10 minutes-ish. One of our teenagers says that YouTube like it to be just over 10 minutes, so I will at least 10 minutes. And yeah, what I think I'm going to do is do a few that are sort of updating you as to where we are and what we've had to do so far. And then hopefully I will do them live as things are happening, because we've been planning this for a good number of months, and the roller coaster we've been on already, getting moments when we think actually this is just too difficult, and then actually we find that there is a solution to that particular problem, and then we come across another and another. So I'm going to try and give you an idea of the sorts of things that we've had to explore to get us to this point. I'm married, so and my husband is brilliant and will know some of the detail much better than me, so he may make some guest appearances as well when we look at particular areas of our adventure so far. So why, I guess, is a fairly good reason as any to start. Now is because of Brexit, really. My husband and I were both devastated by the outcome of that vote. And I think when we got to the point where they're going on marches to London and campaigning and going out on the street and stuff just didn't provide the outcome that we'd really hoped for, it actually really got to us. I think it really affected our well-being and our mental health, and I think beginning to explore the feasibility of becoming resident in France felt really empowering, and actually that we may not be able to control the decisions that our government are making, but actually we could potentially make this decision and make this happen for ourselves and our family. So that's really where it's come from. And I don't know France as well as Ian, my husband, but he loves it, and he says that everything's better in France. So that's why we chose France rather than anywhere in Europe, really. And it's the nearest in terms of commuting, which brings me on to the fact that our added challenge with all this is that we have 3 teenagers between us, 2 boys who are nearly 18 and a girl who's nearly 17. So it's not an ideal time to do a full relocation. So our plan has been to commute and do a bit of backwards and forwardsing, which was somewhat easier before quarantine, of course. So that certainly added an extra challenge to that idea. We're a second relationship, so our children do have other parents that are nearby, which I think would pretty much impossible to have embarked on this if it weren't for that. And the other thing, I mean, oddly, I suppose, in a way, is that as challenging as COVID-19 has been, it was actually the thing that made this possible for us. So I'm a mental health trainer, and I've always done all my training face-to-face. That's just the way that we do it with Mental Health First Aid England. But they've been incredible in turning around online Zoom-based training since COVID, which means that I can now do my work often at home in my pajama bottoms, but wherever I can get Wi-Fi, really. And my husband works in construction, and his work has become much less meeting based. Zoom meetings are becoming much more the norm. So that, because we're not ready financially or personally to give up our work yet, and I also, my French is appalling at the moment, although I really, really want to improve that. Ian's is better. But so that the idea of me moving to Europe and being able to get a job and earn a living seemed impossible before. But actually, now that we can both continue to earn our living with our work based in England but be in France, that actually opened the door really to the feasibility of doing this mad adventure. So that's the why. The how is a big old other story. So what I'm going to share with you, not in this video, but what we're going to go on to look at, is the process of working out how residency might work, how we might transfer businesses over to France, the time scale that we've got, given that the transition period ends in December, the healthcare situation, long-term rents, which isn't easy in France. So there are a number of sort of topic areas that I'm going to share with you, some of which you might find more interesting than others, but if any of them are interesting to you, then hopefully you'll find them and they'll help with your journeys. But my time has gone on my thing, so I can't actually tell whether I've got you to the 10 minutes or not yet, but I think I've probably told you all that's useful for this first introduction. I've not come up with a title yet, and I've not worked out how I'm going to get this onto YouTube yet, so you may get this a few days or even weeks possibly further down the line. But tomorrow we are getting the overnight ferry over to France. We're looking at southwest. We're going to be sort of west of Bergerac, but I'll tell you about that property, which I'm really excited about. Absolutely amazing. I'll tell you about that in the next video, and I'll do a live couple of things while we're there, no doubt, and I shall do my best to fill you in on the interesting stuff as it happens, but also as I say, what we've done to date. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, even if it isn't 10 minutes. Do carry on following us. I hope there will be things to follow, and I hope this is interesting to some of you. Cheers.